allemaal. Daar zijn we weer voor weer een nieuwe aflevering van Gente Mágica. Waarbij ik in gesprek ga met mensen die een heel mooi verhaal te vertellen hebben. En die mijn passie voor Latijns-Amerika delen. Vandaag ga ik in gesprek met mijn goede vriend Juan Tonconogy. Hij komt uit Argentinië. Heeft een enorme passie voor wijnen en autorijden. En hij heeft een prachtig wijnhuis en hotel in Mendoza. Juan, nice to have you here. How is life right now in Mendoza?
Hi, Johan. How are you? Well, actually, it's a very special moment, but I'm very lucky to be at our property in Casa de Uco in Mendoza. Today we started, well, actually yesterday, winter time. Mm-hmm. So it's very cold during the night, but during the day it's fantastic. We have a lot of sun, and always we have good wine. So
yeah, exactly.
We can't go wrong.
Yes. Because if I look back behind you, I see like the leaves are colored yellow and brown, and but with a clear blue sky. I think this is a time of the year that not that many people normally travel, but it's a great time as well. Eh?
Yes, actually, we had much more colors. Starting in May, and 2 weeks ago we had a lot of winds, and that blew away many of the leaves around. So now most of the vineyards are plain and ready to start the pruning. But it's May and June is a fantastic time to come.
Yeah, exactly. Juan, we met each other for many years. We always see each other at fairs. A lot of fun over there. Casa de Uco, your hotel, it came from a passion. I know that you after high school, you went to study in London, business economics, and then you developed your passion for wines, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yes, actually, my family was never involved in the hospitality business, neither into the wine industry. My father is a very well-known architect in Argentina. He's done a lot of buildings, but with very special design. He's a very, very well-known architect. And
Sorry, Juan. Do you have some examples that are maybe famous?
Well, many built in Buenos Aires, for example. He did the remodelation of the Boca Juniors soccer stadium.
Okay.
Then there's a shopping mall very well known called Paseo Alcorta. And then he's done a lot of commercial buildings, offices, and houses as well. So mainly some of those. And going back to me, actually, I wasn't involved into wine. I just came to Mendoza with a friend of mine during vacations in summertime when we were very young, and we just played around through the vineyards. And when I was doing I did an exchange program when I was studying business in London. I used to go to a wine store, and I saw that we had a lot of, in the wine store, you could find a lot of wines from all over the world, a lot of wines from Chile, from South Africa, Australia, etc. For Argentina, you just had two brands, and very common brands. So that's when I told my friend that he had his vineyards in Mendoza from his family. Well, to start selecting some grapes, and we started making wine because for me it was something magical. I couldn't believe that you have in every bottle you have different styles of wine, different colors, different personalities, and it all comes from the earth. So I started studying, learning, and well, we started producing 10,000 bottles with my friend, and we still have the winery. We sell in the States, in Argentina, and other places. And then about 10 years after starting my own winery, I introduced this project, Casa de Uco, to my family, to my father, where we blended our two passions, architectural aspect, because he's the designer of the hotel and the architect, and we planted the vineyards in the middle of the hotel, and we made this winery, and well, we're making a lot of authentic, organic wines. And the photo you were seeing before is Alberto Antonini. He's our head winemaker. He's a very well-known wine consultant from Italy. That's Alberto. He's from Tuscany. And with him, we started all this organic and authentic concept about making wines.
And what makes your wine so successful? What's the key to your
I don't know if it's successful yet, because wine, it's a very, very long-term business, but it's a success in the interior side. And for us, the best wine is the wine that really expresses our place. Not the best wine that we're looking for, the best wine, but we're looking for a wine that really talks about our terroir, about where we are located. And we've been doing wines in Casa de Uco since 2012, so it's going to be 10 years, more or less. But now each time we know much more each plot and each sector of the vineyard plots. So I think that is the key, is understanding the earth, understanding the plants and the soils of the place.
And what kind of wines do you make over there?
Well, our property is quite large. We have 320 hectares. We have 70 hectares planted. And the main variety, which is the main variety of Argentina, is Malbec. So this is a Malbec, for example, 2015. But we also have different varieties that are very good as components to make a great wine, such as Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, which is in the photo you're seeing. That's a photo in May. And the yellow leaves, that's Chardonnay, for example. And the brownish is Malbec. And what you're seeing there are differences on the varieties, because also the variety is mature in a different time. So having different grapes it's amazing, because you can play around in the winery with doing independent fermentations and then add some of other varieties that enhance the wine.
And now I know that your passion is wines, but you also like to invite people who have the same passion to blend their own wines in your winery. Is it correct?
Yes, it's very correct. And that was one of the main reasons Casa de Uco started. Because I started my own winery because I really loved wine. It was a passion. So I wanted to go a little bit further. I wanted to know about how is the winemaking process, what happens if you age the wine in a new barrel for 12 months, or what happens if you age in a very used barrel and less time. So the first idea of Casa de Uco is to have a place where people can have their own vineyard, produce their own wine, and their own wine at their own style with their own label, and at the same time we have the hotel where people can enjoy the stay and live the life of a vineyard when they visit. So nowadays we have about 25 vineyard owners. We we are making every year about 120 different fermentations. And what is fantastic is that in the same vineyard, well, the same vineyard, no, but in the same property, everybody has their own plants, and the wines are completely different because maybe the wine that you like to make or what you like to drink is completely different than your neighbor. So it's fantastic when you see a dream come true and they receive the wines at home that they made, so they share with friends, family. It's a very good experience.
So they can actually take their wines home.
And they participate in the process as much as they want. The photo you were seeing before are people participating in their harvest, doing their wines. So they get in touch with nature, and that's fantastic. And after that grape picking, the next photo you were seeing, that's one of the places I love the most. That is where our water reservoir is. And we have over there a fantastic barbecue among the vineyards with a lot of wine, a lot of meat, empanadas. So it's a great place.
So you also combine it with, of course, with good food. So I imagine you have some really good chefs in your kitchen.
Yes. Well, nowadays that we were in quarantine, we had to take care very well of the orchard because our menu in Casa de Uco is inspired on our organic orchard and on the local producers in the area. It's everything is seasonal, and Mendoza is fantastic place to produce vegetables and fruits. So all the vegetables have this organic. Well, they're naturally organic because we don't use a lot. People don't use a lot of pesticides in the area, and especially in our garden, it's 100% organic. So you can really feel those flavors of all the vegetables, and it's not just meat that we have. I mean, these fantastic barbecues, but also we blend it with very high-end gastronomy.
That's great to hear. So it's a total experience, and now we have been talking about the wines and about the stay in the hotel, but it's not only the wines and the hotel. The area itself is one of the most amazing places in Argentina. Could you explain a bit about that area?
Yes. Well, we are located in the province of Mendoza. And Mendoza is right by the Andes Mountains. If you cross the Andes, you're in Chile. So it's the west part of Argentina. And inside Mendoza, we are located at a very special area called the Uco Valley. And the Uco Valley, it's the special characteristics is that the high-end wineries now are all coming to this area, because we have a lot of benefits for the wine to produce wine actually, and that's due to the terroir, which is the combination between the soil characteristics, the climate, and the altitude. So we have ideal conditions. We are about 1,300 meters above sea level, so we are very high. Mendoza is also a very dry climate, and we don't have a lot of rain, and that makes it fantastic also to produce much more organic wines because you get less fungi, for example. And regarding the soils, we have a lot of rocky soils, heterogeneous, and that's very good also for water drainage and to get different characteristics for the wine. And also, besides wine, as we are there, as you are seeing, by the Andes, by the mountains, there are a lot of, it's a very rural area, and we do a lot of adventure activities in the mountain, like horseback riding, trekking, rafting. So we have a great combination between food, wine, adventure, nature. That is, I think it's unique. Well, it's where I'm living now, and I chose it due to those reasons.
Yeah, you told me a few times that it never is going to be bored, to stay over there. It's also the place where you find the highest mountain of the Andes as well, the Aconcagua. So
Aconcagua, exactly. Aconcagua is one of the top 10 highest mountains in the world, and actually you can climb Aconcagua. It's not in the Uco Valley, but many people come just due to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that if we talk about your life like now, then it seems that you are quite busy with all the things you're doing, but still you have some time left to spend on your other passion, which is classic cars. And you happen to win one of the most important classic car rallies in the world 3 times, the Mille Miglia in Italy, if I'm right.
Yes, well, the classic cars, coming from my father, is one of my main passions, and nowadays I'm driving a lot of classic car races with my wife, with Barbara, and I take my time off trying to either have some races in Argentina, that we have a couple, also in Mendoza, but Italy is like the place for classic cars, and Mille Miglia, it's an iconic, legendary race for Italians. It's something amazing. Being able to win that race 3 times, I think it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that sure is, because with many people in here, when I tell this story, then they can hardly believe that you won it 3 times, because it's a dream for many people. Now you do the Mille Miglia in Italy, but of course you also have some really nice classic rallies in Argentina as well.
Yes, in Argentina, and that's where I started here. Going to Italy was the next step, and in Argentina, the main event is Mille Millas, which is like a replicate of the Mille Miglia, because a group of friends of Argentina went to Mille Miglia and wanted to start the race in Argentina. So you have Mille Millas, which is in Bariloche in November. It's a fantastic race. The landscape, the gastronomy is less intense than the one in Italy, because it's more about lifestyle. And the second most important race that we have here. Okay, so but they're races, but many people just come and enjoy. They just go with the cars, not to win. So
exactly. It's nice to win it, but the most important thing is being together and sharing your passion, basically.
Exactly. And in Mendoza, we have a Rally de las Bodegas, which is a wineries rally, which is in March. And the special thing of being in March is that you have the harvest season, and that's a picture. You have all the vineyards are green, and you go through many different wineries in Mendoza, so you get to know about the tradition about winemaking with combining with the cars in a great atmosphere. So I love being in that race. It's a great event.
Basically, Juan, with this race, all your passions come together. You are in Mendoza, you are in the wine area, and you are in the classic cars.
Right? Yes, I think it's a time to be here. Yeah, cars, wine, hospitality. I think everything is together in that event.
Do you have many foreign visitors to this Rally de las Bodegas?
We have some, not a lot yet, but maybe 10% come from abroad, maybe Brazil, Chile, and some people from UK. Not much, but they do come. I think it's a great opportunity to know it. Participate in the rally, which is just 3 days, then probably stay at the hotel, relax, enjoy the place.
So basically, if we have people from the Netherlands or Belgium who would like to participate, that's possible, and then they can bring their car, or they can even rent a classic car.
They can rent. In Mendoza or in Buenos Aires, you have people that rent out very nice classic cars, so it's not necessary. Just come with your luggage and enjoy.
Bring you. Great. Juan, and so besides all these projects, I can hardly imagine that you want to do some more projects, but as you're still young, do you have some dreams to fill?
Yes. Actually, I would like to keep on growing on a very responsible and like taking care of in the hospitality business. My dream is being able to have another hotel or two hotels more, very boutique, in a different part of Argentina. That could be other regions, always with nature, in touch with nature. And I really, of course, we are at the mountain in Mendoza, but besides cars, I love the sea, I love the water, the ocean. So I think one of my dreams would be, honestly, to have a very boutique hotel in a beach and enjoy the water and the landscape. I think that would be fantastic. And being half of the time in Mendoza and half of the time going away from winter and being in another place, I think that would be the dream come true for me. And then go to Italy in May for Mille Miglia, being in the harvest in Mendoza, being in the beach in September.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Not bad.
No, because I know you married in Trancoso in Brazil.
In Brazil, yes. It's a very nice place, quiet, very, very natural place, magic place.
So it's a matter of combining these magical places all together. I think we came to the end of our conversation. We've been talking about wines a lot, and we're going to plan. That's something for the audience good to know. Is that we're going to plan an online wine tasting of your beautiful wines. But that's something that we are going to announce in the incoming days. It was a pleasure to talk with you again. I hope we can meet each other soon again. And I wish you all the best. Thank you very much, Juan.
No, it's a pleasure. It's kind of strange. Actually, it's fantastic seeing you and talking here. Would be amazing next time also to share the same wine at the same moment. And the next step, we'll see each other in another fantastic place. But it was great seeing you, Johan, really. I consider you a friend. We see each other from time to time. And I have no doubts that we will enjoy a meal and a wine together in the following months.
Let's keep that as a promise to each other. I wish you all the best. stay safe, stay healthy, and we meet each other soon again. Thanks.
Exactly. Bye everybody. Bye Anke. Bye Johan.
All right.
See you.
Nou, dank jullie wel voor het kijken. Volgende week heb ik een gesprek met Jan Strik. Jan Strik uit Bokstel. Maar hij woont inmiddels alweer vele jaren in Nicaragua. En we gaan het hebben over dit bijzondere vakantiebestemming. Dus daar komen we volgende week op terug. Die week daarop, dan is het 6 juli, ga ik in gesprek met oud-VS-correspondent Max Westerman. Die, je gelooft het of niet, alweer enige tijd in Rio de Janeiro woont. En daar met heel veel passie geniet van de Braziliaanse cultuur en de sfeer van Rio. Dus dat is voor de komende weken. Ook gaan we, zoals ik al zei, online wijnproeverijen doen met de wijnen van Juan. Daar kom ik later op onze website en op onze social media kanalen komen we er nog uitgebreid op terug. Ik dank jullie wel voor jullie aandacht en tot de volgende keer. Bye bye.